Hey, welcome to Mama Mandala, where magic is somatic, where inspiration and imagination are brought to life in our bones and in our breath, where the soulful and the somatic are dancing and weaving themselves into one another because we need our creativity right now. And we need this creative power that we are to be embodied, to be brought into our day to day living experience. And so, welcome. I'm Hagar. We're going to do a practice, a short and gentle yoga practice that allows our doorway, the doorway to creativity, to open up and make space for creative solution, creative ideas, for the ways of our artistic nature to flow through us. So whether it is for a time, for a moment where you need to wake it up in order to create art, or when you need to wake it up in order to look at your life in different ways, from different angles, from different perspectives, so that you can find ways through the situation you're dealing with, or for all of us right now, a way to ignite the ability and the capacity to be with this moment in history that is so messed up, so difficult, and so scary for so many of us because we're living in such uncertain times of upheaval. For this time, to be able to wake the artist in us, to walk through one doorway after another into a deeper relationship with our creativity so that we can not only survive this time and not only help others survive this time, but also thrive and innovate and reinvent who we are, maybe even as a species. I'm not going to go so big and wide, but who knows? Maybe this will inspire us. So come into child's pose, please. Bring the big toes to touch. Take your knees wide apart. Bring your arms in front of you. Bring your forearms down to the ground and bring your forehead down to the earth and breathe. Tone the back of the throat and breathe slow and deep Ujjayi pranayama so that you can meet yourself right where you are with your breath. And with this tone in the back of the throat, you are creating a container, a vessel, a channel for the breath to flow through more vividly. For the creative power of the universe in the form of our breath, as it moves from the environment and into our lungs, from our lungs to our hearts, from our hearts through our entire body. Every part of your body is touched by the oxygen that flows through your blood from your heart, from your lungs, from the environment that you're in. And from the whole of your body, the whole of your being, through your heart, back to your lungs, and out of your lungs, through your nose, into the environment, into the world, into the space that you're in, into the earth that we're all sharing. Our creativity is intertwined with the earth, with the air, with the universe. Bring yourself slowly to all fours, to your hands and your knees. Tuck your toes under and press both of your hands deeply into the earth so that the inner edges of your hands are grounded and the tips of your fingers are grounded, so that there is this deep connection to the ground beneath you, to the earth underneath you. And exhale, slowly lift your hips up and back into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Slow breath. Nor if your hamstrings are tight and if your lower back feels tight, if you're feeling sensitive in the lower part of your body today, you can bend your knees so that you can reach your hips up a little bit higher and maintain the natural curve in your lower spine. This beautiful curve in the spine that reminds us of the curviness of that which holds us up, that our backbone is curvy. It's not straight. Our creativity is sporadic, wavy, circular, cyclical. Exhale slowly and bring your knees down to the floor. Separate your knees wide apart. Bring your big toes to touch and bring yourself back down to child's pose. Child's pose. Forearms on the earth, forehead on the earth, and breathe deeply as your third eye presses into the earth. Allow the vision of the collective creativity, the remembrance that you are a part of something greater, that the doorway to your creativity through the power of your breath is not a door you walk through alone. We are in this together. Let yourself be nourished and fed by the earth beneath you, by the ground underneath your third eye that fills your vision, your creative vision, with this interwoven interconnectedness with all that exists. Bring yourself back to all fours, the hands and knees. Press your hands down, tuck your toes under. Deep breath in. Again, the hands rooted deeply into the earth. Exhale, up and back into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. If things are a little bit rough for your wrists and your shoulders, and having your hands on the ground like that and bearing the weight of your body is too much, you can stay on all fours, and you can also put your hands on the wall. So if you're feeling very tight in your body, that's still okay. You can still do this. You can put your hands on a wall. You can bend your knees and reach your hips back. You can even lean with your hands on a couch or on a table. So you can still do this, even if you're moving through a difficult time in your body right now. Take a slow, deep inhalation. And with an exhalation, walk your hands back towards your feet into Uttanasana, forward bend. Feet as wide as your hips. Feet parallel for most of us is going to be healthier for our hips, our knees, our lower back, but not for everyone. So I recommend it, knowing that all of us are different. And if you know your body really well, you might have to do something differently from how I recommend to do it. Inhale, look forward, halfway up. And part of our creative doorway, exhale, fold back in, is this deep listening that we bring into how we're interacting with our bodies. Inhale, look forward, halfway up. How we're interacting with one another. Exhale, fold back in. So creativity does not start with expression. It actually begins with a deep listening. I'm recording this and releasing this during Gemini season. Inhale, look forward, halfway up. And this archetype is this beautiful reminder. Exhale, fold back in. That communication starts with listening. That creativity starts with listening. That the vessel of our creativity, inhale, look forward, halfway up, requires the openness first, the receptivity first. Exhale, fold back in. This deep listening. Now, make sure your legs are strong. So you're not just letting your legs rest here energetically without, I know your hamstrings are tight. Are starting to speak to you right now, because mine are starting to speak to me too. Draw your heels right now energetically back. So you're not moving your legs, but pull the heels energetically back. Do you feel how that ignites and fires up the backs of your legs? Pull your heels energetically back. Put as much weight on the balls of your feet as you do on your heels. Hold the backs of your ankles almost down to your heels. Pull it up a little bit and draw yourself a little more deeply in if you can. If you are in a tighter situation in your life, again, put your hands on something, bend your knees. You don't have to go to the deepest place. Let's allow our creativity to become the place of the deep listening that we bring to how we are experiencing ourselves and how we're experiencing others and what is most needed in the moment and what is a deeper wisdom that we can open up to. Inhale, look forward, halfway out. Because creativity is wisdom. Exhale, walk your hands forward. Bring yourself back into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Slow breath in. Press your hands into the floor so that no part of your hand right now is light. If needed, bend your knees and lift your hips up. Inner edges of your hands, tips of your fingers, strong. The weight will tend to go toward the heel of your hand, and that's going to put a lot of weight into your wrists. So put more weight on the inner edges of your hands and the tips of your fingers. So this deep connection to the earth again allows you to reach your hips up high, to ground your heels towards the earth, and to stay deeply rooted in your breath. With your next exhalation, slowly bring your knees down to the floor. Take your knees apart. Bring your big toes to touch and bring yourself back down into child's pose. Forearms down, forehead down. Third eye, this center of vision and imagination. This center of being able to see more than what meets the eye, but to look at the world and to look through some of the layers and to maybe even see that what we're going through right now is part of a cycle. That humanity, like nature, moves in cycles. And as you listen to your breath, the wisdom of cyclicality reveals itself to you. And slowly bring yourself to sit to a seated position. And for creativity's sake, which requires sometimes a little bit of a breaking of a pattern, right? Like in order to do something in a creative way or to envision the world in a different way, we're going to have to do things a little bit differently. So sit how you sit. If you're seated on the floor, and you can absolutely sit on something else if sitting on the floor is not comfortable for you and you need more support, sit on a blanket, sit on a block, sit on a couch, sit on a chair, or whatever you need. But if you're seated on the floor, switch legs. So put the other leg, not the leg you automatically put forward, the other leg forward, and move your hips a little bit side to side so that you're sitting more broad on your hips, and rest your hands on your knees or on your thighs and let your eyes softly close. And if you're feeling more supported with your eyes open softly, that's totally fine too. So again, resource yourself. Still rooted in your breath, in the tone in the back of your throat. So you're still breathing Ujjayi pranayama. And if it feels good for you, you can bring your index fingers and your thumbs to touch. This is Chin Mudra. Mudra of consciousness, of awareness, of wisdom. And at the end of your next inhalation, hold the breath for a moment. And then slowly through your nose, exhale all the way out. At the end of the exhalation, pause before you take another breath in. And then inhale through the tone in the back of the throat. Pause, hold the breath, and exhale slowly. Pause before you take another breath in. And then inhale deeply and slowly all the way. Fill up your lungs. Hold the breath at the top. And exhale slowly out. A few more on your own. And in the space between your breaths, listen for whatever the breath and the holding of it, whatever the breath as the creative power of the universe, prana in Sanskrit, this life force has to tell you. And just notice in those spaces before your inhale and between your inhale and your exhale, if there's a message that prana has for you right now. If there's a specific question you want to ask this energy that flows through everything, you can allow that question to flow on the waves of your breath. And in the space between our breaths, listen for any messages that come through, any guidance. And softly release the mudra if you're holding it. You can gently rub your fingers together. You can gently rub your hands over your knees and thighs. Move a little bit side to side with your spine, with your torso. Maybe circle your neck around. And when you're ready, Softly allow your eyes to open. Thank you so, so much for joining me. I hope this was meaningful for you, helpful for you to open up the doorway of your creative power that is also the creative power that flows through everything. And if you need more support with your creativity and you want to ignite the power of inspiration and to blow embers on the spark of inspiration that already lives in you, join me for the journey from stillness to spark. I will leave a link for you in the description of the video. It's a beautiful space to build a temple for our muse, to bring in the creative power in a really sacred way, and in a way that doesn't focus on productivity and on getting from point A to point B, but rather really being in the process, really a companion for where you are. So all the details will be in the description of the video, as well as a couple of links to other practices that might support this journey of creativity that you are on. I am so grateful for you. If you're not subscribed to this channel, subscribe to this channel, like this video. It really helps. I really appreciate it. Subscribe to my Substack where I send Muse Medicine every Monday. So if you really are seeking support and community around your creativity, it's the place to be. So I can't wait to see you here again and there. And I hope it will be soon. All right. Namaste. Thank you so much.